Karoline Leavitt books a room at her husband's hotel. Liberal receptionist makes a huge mistake. Karoline Leavitt stepped out of the black SUV and adjusted her sunglasses, staring up at the grand facade of the Leavitt Grand Hotel. It was a towering symbol of luxury and success, a testament to her husband's hard work and business acumen. The hotel had recently undergone a multimillion-dollar renovation, and Karoline had finally decided to surprise her husband, James, with an unannounced visit. Dressed in an elegant navy blue dress with pearl earrings, she walked confidently into the hotel lobby. The chandelier glistened above her, reflecting the golden glow of the marble floors. The scent of fresh lilies filled the air, blending with a faint aroma of expensive cologne from businessmen checking in. At the front desk stood a young receptionist with bright pink hair, thick-rimmed glasses, and a pride pin fastened to her blouse. Her name tag read, Jessica. "Good evening. Welcome to the Leavitt Grand Hotel. How can I assist you?" Jessica chirped, barely glancing up from her screen. "I'd like to book a room, please," Karoline said, smiling. Jessica sighed dramatically. "Of course. Name, please?" "Karoline Leavitt." Jessica's fingers paused on the keyboard. She raised an eyebrow and looked up. "Leavitt," she repeated slowly, her lips tightening slightly. "Yes," Karoline confirmed. Jessica's demeanor shifted subtly. "Oh, I see. Are you related to James Leavitt?" she asked, stressing the name in a way that made it clear she was well aware of who he was. Karoline tilted her head.
"Yes."
"He's my husband." Jessica's face hardened.
"Huh.
Interesting." For a moment, there was an awkward silence. Jessica clicked her mouse with unnecessary force and then, with a rather smug expression, said, "I'm so sorry, but it looks like we're fully booked." Karoline blinked. "Fully booked?" "Yes," Jessica said, folding her arms. "There's a big progressive convention happening in town this weekend. We're completely full.
Every
single room." Karoline didn't flinch. "That's odd. I checked online before I came, and there were several suites available." Jessica's smile tightened. "Oh, well, sometimes the system lags behind our actual occupancy. I wish I could help." Karoline studied Jessica for a moment, then reached into her purse and pulled out her phone. With a few quick taps, she dialed a number. "James? Hi, darling. I'm at the hotel, but your receptionist here is telling me it's completely booked," she said sweetly, watching as Jessica's expression shifted from smug satisfaction to wide-eyed panic. A second later, the phone at the front desk rang. Jessica hesitated before answering. "Leavitt Grand Hotel. How may I?" A muffled voice barked from the other end, and Jessica's face turned pale. "Yes, Mr. Leavitt." "Of course, Mr. Leavitt. Right away, sir." She slowly hung up the phone and turned back to Karoline, swallowing hard. It seems there was a, mistake. We do, in fact, have a suite available for you." Karoline smiled, leaning in slightly. "I thought so." Jessica fumbled with the keyboard, and within seconds, a keycard was placed in Karoline's waiting hand. "Thank you, Jessica," Karoline said graciously, before turning and striding toward the elevators. As she disappeared into the gleaming golden doors, Jessica slumped against the desk, exhaling shakily. She had just learned a hard lesson: never underestimate a Leavitt. The bigger picture. After settling into her suite, Karoline took a moment to reflect. The hotel, their legacy, was being tainted by employees who allowed personal biases to interfere with professionalism. She knew James would take this seriously. An hour later, James arrived at the hotel, stepping into their suite with a serious expression. Karoline recounted the incident, and James nodded grimly. "This isn't just about you," he said. "If she treated you this way, how many others has she turned away?" The next morning, James called a staff meeting in the grand ballroom. Jessica, looking nervous, stood among the other employees as James addressed them. "We are in the hospitality business. That means treating every guest with respect, regardless of personal opinions. If any employee cannot separate their personal views from their duties, they have no place here," he said firmly. Jessica lowered her gaze. knowing her job was on the line. She had a choice: apologize and change her ways, or leave. Later that day, she knocked hesitantly on Karoline's door. "Mrs. Leavitt, I just want to say, I was wrong. I let my bias get in the way, and I regret it." Karoline studied her, then nodded. "I appreciate that, Jessica. But actions matter more than words." Jessica knew she had a long road ahead to earn back trust. But one thing was clear: the Leavitts did not tolerate disrespect, and the hotel would remain a place where service and excellence reigned above all else. A grand gesture. As the days passed, James decided that the best way to reinforce the values of the hotel was to introduce a special training program for all employees. The program, titled Excellence Above All, emphasized customer service, ethics, and professionalism. Jessica, realizing she needed to prove herself, enrolled in the training. She worked diligently, making an effort to change her behavior and become a model employee. Over time, she not only improved but excelled, earning praise from guests and management alike. One evening, after a particularly busy shift, she found a handwritten note on her desk. It read, Jessica. People make mistakes, but it's how we handle them that defines us. I've noticed your effort and I appreciate your commitment to improving. Keep it up. Karoline Leavitt *. Jessica smiled, knowing she had earned a second chance. Meanwhile, Karoline and James celebrated the success of their hotel with a grand gala. The event showcased the newly renovated ballrooms and highlighted the hotel's commitment to excellence. Dignitaries, celebrities, and high-profile guests filled the space, enjoying the world-class service that had made the Leavitt Grand Hotel an institution. As Karoline stood by James' side, she reflected on the journey. From a small misunderstanding at the front desk to a reaffirmation of their values, the experience had strengthened not just their hotel, but their legacy. With a glass of champagne in hand, Karoline toasted to the future. A future where excellence always prevailed and where no bias, political or personal, would ever stand in the way of success.